you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
When you kiss me like an angel and your body trembles next to mine.
This is Wasting Tears on You. What a production! What a voice! What everything is fantastic. We have with us Pat Gasperini, who's the author and producer of this wonderful song. Hi, Pat.
How are you, my friend? How's it going?
It was fantastic. It's going great. I'm really glad to have you with us. All these years, you're an absolute pro of the industry. You're a producer, you're a songwriter, you're a performing artist. Tell us everything about you, please. Go ahead.
Okay. So thanks for having me on here. My career started early in early writing days of forming bands and writing songs and kind of honing my craft as a young child. Into my teen years, I went out to the West Coast and did some touring and traveling around there and started building my brand and my name and back to the East Coast, which led into my first publishing deal in the early 90s with EMI April Music. And then that led into my first major recording deal with Universal Island Def Jam. And then from there on in, it's been history. I've put out 7 albums and, pretty much toured the world and written and produced multiple songs for myself and for other artists. And, it's been quite a career. When the highs are really high, they're great. When the lows are really low, they're not great. But the one thing that always resonates with me is song.
Song.
So it's always a way for me to let people know what's on my mind, whether it's metaphorically or descriptive. So music and songwriting has always been a really strong suit for me, and
go beyond on that. How do you care? How do you ensure that you get the best out of an idea, a particular idea?
Well, I mean, songwriting is a funny thing. You can't really. It's very non-descriptive. Sometimes you can write the best. I've written some of the best songs in my life in a half hour, and then I've written some of the best songs in my life that have taken me, days. So it just depends on, it depends on the lyric and the melody line up together. You know what I mean? And the story that you want to say. It's, I can't really spell out, how that comes about. I really feel like it's an outer body experience, to be honest with you. Sometimes I wake up thinking about a melody that's in my head in the middle of the night, and I wake up and automatically, I do a lot of writing in the morning, and I do a lot of listening in the morning. Either for me, I'm really melody driven. So it's a melody or a line that's in my head or something that's on my mind or weighing on my heart. And then that's where it starts, And then sometimes I literally just watch the pen write itself. I can't even explain it to you. And all of a sudden there's a bunch of lyrics, right? And then I go through it and then I kind of like form what I want to say, in that story, because each song is a story to me, and then melody is just as much as a story as the lyric, I hold that in regard at high, because if you're not coming along to the melody, you're not really pulled in lyrically, so they both work hand in hand. Songwriting, for me anyway, there's other artists do different things, but for me, that's where I get off and I get excited when I'm playing these, when I come up with these beautiful chord changes or kick-ass chord changes, and that triggers my melody, and then that triggers the lyric. So I'm always writing music with an acoustic guitar in my hand, and or piano, like a piano acoustic in front of me, and I really bring it down to its truest melody, and that's how I write everything. So, I use today's technology, but I'm still old school when it comes to writing a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it happens. And sometimes I'll go back and revisit the song, and it's good. It's got some great parts, but it's just not killing me. I'll go back and just kind of walk away from it for a second, and then come back to it with fresh ears. And you got to learn how to do that too. So that's where my production skills come in, as far as taking my, pulling my hat off and just putting a different hat on and looking at it as a producer versus a songwriter, and telling the story what I want to set, the story that I want to tell, right? So
Yeah.
I take my hat off and put another producer's hat on and listen to it and say, okay, is it coming across, the hook coming across, the melody coming across,
Yeah.
is the lyric coming across, is what I'm saying strong enough? So, it takes time. People don't realize it just doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I spend a lot of time in my studio, hours and hours and hours.
And hours and hours, yes.
Sometimes I go in there 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, and it's, before you know it, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, So,
But it goes.
but I've been doing.
It goes fast.
Right.
Like when you're in it, it's difficult. You mentioned something that is really important: the step back. But sometimes you feel glued to this. The work. It's difficult to step back. And you mentioned you could be hours and hours. How do you manage to think of it and okay, now I need to live it. I need to live it here and come back later.
Well, basically, for me, is like sometimes I know, when I wrote "Waste Tears on You," I just knew it when I got in the studio. It's like some songs you just know, and then some songs need some TLC. What I mean by tender loving care is like, okay, you got a great chorus, the verse is really strong, but it needs like another hook, but it's good enough to carry on. So you just know it when you feel it. It's just doing writing songs for many, many years. So that, when it's not, when you're really pulling and tugging and wrestling with it, it's a good time to let go and just put it to the side. Or that part, you might love the chorus hook, and that might be a really good part for another song that you write. So I've learned how to do that too, and that just takes, that's just the craft of writing, and sometimes you'll have a great verse or a great riff or so on and so forth. So it's really, you kind of can shut your eyes and feel it when you're singing the melody and lyrics. I know when I got something, you know what I mean? And then I know, okay, I got a great hook here. I'm running into a wall. Let's step away from it. I'll come back in a few hours, or I'll come back tomorrow with a fresh pair of ears. I'll record everything on a voice. I just lay it down quick, and just to keep the reference idea. And I have tons of reference ideas. And I'm always humming melody ideas, and I'm always humming lyric ideas. Wherever I'm doing, working out, driving, working, I'm always doing that. I always try to, catch the moment. Because today with technology, you can walk around with your phone and keep all your ideas. Years ago, and I still write, oddly enough, with pencil, pen, and paper. For some reason, it just when I put the pen to paper or pencil, it's with pencil a lot too.
It becomes real. It becomes true when you.
It just does. I know that. I know a lot of new writers today it's all tech, electronic. Because I work with a lot of new engineers and mix guys, and they're all tech driven, which is phenomenal. I do too. But for me, when I pick that pencil up and I start writing, then it starts to turn into something.
I agree 100%. So I want to be mindful of your time. This is Wasting Tears on You. Again, we have Pat Gasperini, fantastic, absolute professional. So what is the life of a working musician? You work as a professional musician for many, many years already. We name the biggest labels that you can work with. how's the life of not only a songwriter, but you're a producer too. So tell us your everyday, how does it work?
For me, I have, I'm working with, I take 2 to 3 projects on, writing projects on at a time. And what I normally do is I kind of balance my time, with my work life and my family life. Basically, during the week I do writing sessions with the artists that I'm producing. And then I kind of rotate them within my sessions as well from what I'm doing. Sometimes I have to put my stuff on the back to get a project out. Right now I have 2 or 3 projects that are going to come out next year, and I also have a new record coming out next year as well. In 2022, it's called Raise Your Glass, and that's going to be out 2022. Yeah, I'm giving you I'm leaking it out. It's the working title, but it looks like it's going to be the title. So that's coming out in 2022, and that's kind of how I do it. So I kind of rotate with artists that I work with, as far as, we stick together and we write, and then I go into the studio and I lay the music down, and then I take the artist into the studio and we cut vocals, and then we mix and master, and then we go one song at a time. We don't overload ourselves. We just take one song at a time, because we could say we're making an EP or we're making a record, but today you can drop singles as you're writing your record. We live in the day of the album is which I love and dear to my heart. But there's a different way of doing things today. So the beauty of it is we can really get a great song out there while we're working on the rest of the EP, 7-inch or record or the full length. And if I have a project where we're going to block out 6 weeks of time, we go back and forth on Zoom. Then I get together with the artist. We get our work done before we go into the studio, because we leave the element of creativity and candy when we get in the studio, but we have the nuts and bolts. I have the nuts and bolts of what I want to do before I even step in and start laying down the track.
Right.
I feel, writing and recording throughout the years, I've learned that pre-production is so important, because you just waste time in the studio, and time is money. So you're more beneficial to really get the picture of the song, the tempo, the changes, the lyrics, the melody, the arrangement, everything as far along as you can, where we feel, okay, we got a great body. Now let's go in and cut this track, and then we'll leave all that magical stuff for the last bit,
Yeah. So,
and that's kind of how it goes. That's kind of how I do it. I feel it's the most effective that way.
You have your own studio. You have your own studio. Yeah. You play all the instruments, so you really can help all these artists. And is that right?
Yeah, I play multiple instruments. I work with great engineers with program stuff, and I have great, session players if I need them. But other than drums, I play everything else. So
exactly.
So I play all the instruments. I sing. I do harmonies on them. Whatever the artist needs. So I pretty much build the track from the ground floor up.
And what is the best way that these artists, they're probably listening to us, they can get in touch with you and maybe apply, propose you a project? What's the best way they can reach you?
Well, I sent you a link that you could post. It's PatrickJamesMusicProductions.com.
Perfect.
The link is on my Instagram, and you can go there and fill out it's kind of like an application where you'll send me your information and your strongest song, and I'll listen to it. And if I think that it's something that I want to get involved with, I'll reach out to you, and then we'll have a discussion, and then we'll discuss the business end of it. And if I'm moved creatively, I don't just I'm very selective who I work with, you know what I mean? Because time is very precious, and this stuff takes a lot of time, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm very serious about it, so I don't really fool around, you know what I mean? I work with people who are really passionate and serious about what they're doing, and I don't care if they're 15 years old. If they got greatness in, I love working with new talent. So as well as established artists and hit making artists, and from platinum records down to to a young kid who's just wrote this masterpiece. So I just listen to the song. The song tells the story. For me, it's the song. And if I see something in an artist that needs development, I'll say, hey, you got something really good. I think you should keep writing and keep honing your craft, and let's hook up 6 months or a year later down the road and get it a little bit more developed, you know?
Yeah.
And I do take certain development projects on, but very few of them because they take a lot of time, a lot of time. And, which I don't mind spending time, but, you know, time is valuable. So you got to really you got to really focus on prioritizing, you know, how you do that. So I know that sounds like a lot, but there's a method to my madness. So that's kind of how I do it, you know?
Yeah, it makes total sense. And really, time is the most valuable thing we have. You have an absolute skill set as a producer, a songwriter, you know, actual professional, and you know, you have a craft, and you have to believe in the project, and you know, and on the other end, the prospective artists, they have to show you commitment, right? And they believe, and it makes absolute sense. And Pat has his own projects, right? We have right now the song we're listening to, "Wasting Tears on You," but Pat is also a professional producer working with some of the biggest labels. So if you're going to apply, we're gonna post the link. I think it's Patrick
James Music Production.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Pat, thank you really so much for giving us some of your time. This
You're welcome. Looking forward to doing it again with you.
It's been fantastic. We'll stay in touch, and here you go. This is Wasting Tears on You. This is Pat Gasperini. It is wonderful having you. Thank you so much, Pat, and until the next one.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and looking forward to doing it again, my friend.
Sounds fantastic. Okay, here we go. Wasting Tears on You.
Of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh. Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
This is so Christmas. This is so fantastic for these holidays. And, you know, we decided to go with something a little bit different just to celebrate this special time of the year. And also because Pat Gasperini introduced us to this wonderful artist we're listening to, Tayla Rees, ending in LA, Tayla Rees, to talk about this fantastic Christmas song. Hi Tayla, how's it going?
Hi, it's going good. How are you?
Good, fantastic. Oh, this is so cheering and so happy. Tell us about everything. Why did you choose to go with such a, Christmas song?
Well, what happened was actually I wrote this song with Pat. I co-wrote it with, it was last year. And my mom had said, you guys should write a Christmas song. And maybe you guys could write it about all your experiences about your Christmases over the years. So that's what we did. We wrote a list of basically everything that we did as a tradition for Christmas, Pat and I, and we put it in the song. And it's just, I love singing the song and listening to it because it's like I reminisce with it because it's all my memories and Pat's memories, and I want to share that with everybody.
It is fantastic. It really sounds amazing, and thanks to all the merit to yourself. So tell us a little bit about that synergy and that relation. How did it come about?
So I met Pat in June 2019. So what had happened was over the years he had been watching me, kind of like keeping track of, my growth and everything. And then he contacted me June 2019, and we sat down. We talked about, what I wanted from, my music career and everything, and my style and everything, and what he had to offer. And basically from there, since then, we've started we write, we co-write, or I'll bring songs to him, and or we'll write it together. We figure out the music in the background, and it's the emotion that we want to give, and it's just a really good process with us together because I feel like we work so well together. We just get each other and the way that we think about music, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the results are really incredible. Totally professional. I didn't expect any less from Pat. And really, your voice.
Oh, of course.
It sounds like totally professional. It sounds like, did you have vocal lessons or what's about that?
Thank you. Honestly, what happened was I've been singing all my life. But it originally started just, I like to sing Disney songs, and, I like singing Little Mermaid, kind of thing. And it started off as a natural thing. And then I think as I got older and I started writing and stuff like that, and by 11, I was performing out. So at that point, I got a vocal coach because I wanted to actually become professional with it. So now, over time, with the vocal coaches I've had and the people that I've met to teach me, little tips and, healthy vocal health, So over time, I've just taken all those things, and now I just use them all to, have a healthy voice, sing correctly, sing the right way where I could sing, long periods of time. And I think I've learned a lot about myself in this.
Really? How so?
And knowing, I think it's being a singer, it is a lot of work. It's a lot. You got to put a lot into it. It's you got to really, really love it because your instrument is your body. So you have to stay healthy, and that's really one of the biggest hassles. Is because if you get sick, you get sick. So you have to learn how to sing correctly when you're sick, so you don't hurt yourself. You need to keep your voice, healthy. Your vocal cords are very, delicate, so you got to keep that very healthy. I think I've found so many things, like natural remedies, and stuff like that to keep myself healthy over the years. And now I just use all of them for performances and studio time and when I have to do things. So, but it's so worth it because I love singing, and it's worth all the work that I put into it. And honestly, I think that I'm comfortable with my voice, with all of the people that gave me tips and the vocal coaches and the experience. I feel like it's helped me to be confident in my own voice and, know what I want with my career as well.
That is fantastic. I mean, this is tremendous material for singers in particular. Number one, it's so important that you learn to play your instrument, which is your voice, the right way. for what you said. I mean, you might sound good today, but if you mistreat it and don't learn how to actually use it correctly, it might go away, fade out. And,
Right.
And also you're saying, okay, I'm comfortable with my voice. You know, a lot of singers, they're not, and it's
Right.
it's also like an internal process of acceptance of yourself. And how do you feel about that? Like, you spoke about the physical aspect, but what about like the spiritual or psychological aspect of learning about yourself and accepting your voice and your inner self as well?
Right. I think that a big thing when it comes to really not only singing, performing, all of it, it really is confidence. You really have to, trust yourself and really be confident in what you're doing and know your reasons as to why you're doing them. I mean, so I feel like over time, through my people around me that I really trust, they've, given me advice and really stayed by me, and I feel like through that I've felt supported, and I think that learning myself over time, I've gained more confidence in myself. So then when I'm on stage, you can tell, like, oh yeah, okay, so Tayla knows what she's doing, and that's what I want. I want people to feel comfortable like that, because if I'm comfortable, then the audience is comfortable. So I feel like people can sense that. I feel like you can tell when somebody's uncomfortable on stage, and I mean, maybe that's that person's step to getting, confident. But once you are, I feel like it's a whole other reaction from people, because the whole thing is to connect with people. And I want to reach them in the right way. I want them to really feel like, okay, Tayla is here. She's telling me what she's telling me, and I'm really connecting with that and her. So that's what I really want.
Yeah. I mean, look, everything you said is 100% right. I'm so glad that you have it so clear, and you're doing it.
Thank you.
So
yeah, I'm doing it.
definitely, and so talk about the performances. What's the plan? Since when? I think you said you started performing at 11. Did I get that right?
Yes, I did. Yes. What happened was I was just singing at home, and just doing it as like for fun, and then I think at 10, I went to this restaurant, and there was a band playing there, and my mom always brought me and my brother with her to see some of the bands that she knows. So what ended up happening is my mom went to go get her keys, right? And I was watching the band with my brother.
Okay.
And the singer was singing an Adele song, and she looked at me and saw that I was singing with her in the audience. So she pulled me up on stage.
Wow.
And she said, "Sing."
Wow.
So I started singing, and we were like nose to nose singing. It was so awesome. And my mom was like, "Hold on, who is that? That girl's really good." And she's like, "It's definitely not my son." So, oh my God, my kids are the only ones here. It must be Tayla. She looks and she starts recording that I'm on stage with, The Difference was the name of the band, and Trisha was the singer, and I am so grateful to them because she got me started, really, because she was like, "Hey, you could sing with us anytime. You're a rising star. You can absolutely, come with us and, to any place that we perform." And I did that. So that's what got me to start at 11, because by 11 I was performing out with them regularly.
Wow.
So it was like my first band experience too. It was my first time singing in front of people, and getting that, that presence on stage. I think that it was the first time that I experienced that.
That's an incredible
and,
story.
I'm grateful to that.
Wow.
It's definitely cool.
That's
For
amazing.
sure.
That's an incredible story.
Thank you.
So, what was the name of this first band, and for how long do you still play with them, or who do you play with these days?
I think I performed with them for about, how many times did I perform with them? I think I performed with them for 2 years about, and actually I made another connection through them. There was this woman there at a performance that I was doing with them, and it was she was connected to the New York School of Music in Walden. So she said, "Hey, I saw you sing, and I want you in my school." And it's basically like vocal lessons and basically any lessons in music that you want. And then also you can do these programs where you perform with bands, and you get your own band, and you get an instructor for 2 weeks, and then you perform at a really nice venue after, practicing. So that's what I started doing after the 2 years of playing with the Difference. I started going to this school and taking some vocal lessons, doing these sessions and programs with my own band now. And I had a couple bands through this. I performed at the Falcon because of it, the Chance Theater many times. And it was just such a cool experience because now I'm on stage with my own band. So this is a whole different thing for me. And, learning teamwork with the people around you. And it was just, again, another step to confidence and getting ready. They had, what happened was they had this little group that they put together from the school. And I think it was an anniversary for Foreigner. It was at Bethel Woods, and they said, "Hey, we're going to pick a couple people, and we want you to, sing on stage with Foreigner." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Foreigner is awesome." So what ended up happening was I got on the stage, and there was 32,000 people in the audience. It was sold out. First time that I ever saw that many people, looking up at the stage like that. And I walk on the stage, and I remember I smiled so big that I almost cried, but tears of joy though. But it was so amazing, and that's when I really knew that I wanted to do this, for real. I was like, I want this. I'm like, wow, that many people came to see this person play, and they really love these people. They really connect with them, and I'm like, I want this. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So then what happened was they asked me a second time to do this. I did it at first at 13, and then the second time at 15, 16, around that area. And I, by that time I was already, gung ho about it. So it was a really, really cool experience.
It's incredible. This incredible background and the story of your life. Since the very beginning, you felt that connection with such a large crowd. Is amazing, and I feel like you really enjoy that energy and that transmission feeling, right?
The bigger the crowd, the better.
That is fantastic.
I love it.
That is fantastic. So tell us, what is the where you're gonna go next? What is your ideal future? Do you have any near future plans or performances that we can go to see?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I was recently signed by a label, Big Panda Records. So
congratulations! Yeah, wow.
Yes, thank you. I'm so excited because honestly, I know COVID has been such a huge, it's been really hard with everything, and everybody's going through so much. But I also think that it brought a lot of people together. So I met them through COVID, actually during COVID. So they were talking about once COVID has kind of calmed down and it's not so, risky to be out and everything like that, we're going to, tour. So I was like, oh my gosh, touring, I've been wanting to do that all my life. So we're going to tour once things calm down a little bit more. Hopefully in the new year, we're going to be doing that. I will be performing at Daryl's house in Pawling, New York on January 16th. It's on a Sunday, and I'll be opening up for Pat Gasperini's band, the Patrick James Band, and any other performances that I'm going to have will be updated on my social media sites. We have new videos coming out in the new year as well. I have a new song, Project X, coming out the end of January, beginning of February. We're still playing around with the date, but there's a video along with the song, which is, you guys are gonna love it because a lot went into it. It was all really my mom. My mom is like my manager. She put basically the whole thing together, and I'm so grateful for her, because also she's not like that typical momager. She's like, she really, really works hard, and I'm so grateful for her, because she put this whole thing together with me, and we got dancers together. We got, the place and the choreography and the videographer, which is Ross Media. He's awesome, and there's just so much that went into this that I'm so excited to release it.
We're absolutely looking forward to it. Very excited to see it. And
thank you. I'm really ready to get started. I mean, if anybody wants to go see, I have other videos out as well on all major platforms.
Oh yeah, where can we find you? Just tell us all the places we can go to find you.
Okay, so I'm on all major platforms and all social media sites, but you can check. I have a Instagram, I have a Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and you can actually, the easiest way to find me is I created a website, TaylaRees.com, and literally all of my social media sites are right on that site. So you can click it and it directs you right there. So it's TaylaRees.com, and all of it is on there, everything. So it's way easier, so everybody can just have it right in front of them,
Fantastic, like the major hub for all of your outlets, TaylaRees.com, and we'll be sure to add the links and absolutely promote it. Look, this was fantastic. I think you have a lot of talent. Your voice speaks for itself, and
thank you.
And really, you have a brilliant future in front of you, and make all the best out of it, and enjoy what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right. So thanks, Tayla. Thank you, Pat, for getting us in touch with Tayla. Fantastic Christmas song. Very special, something different. Tayla, thank you so much for making the time. Absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. I had a lot of fun.
Wonderful, fantastic.
Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to put in there. My album coming out in the new year as well. It's called Illumination, and it'll be out in the new year.
Nice.
Yes. And so I'm really excited to release this, because this is just so many songs that Pat and I wrote together, or I wrote, or he wrote, and it's just there's so many emotions, there's so many experiences. There's different genres roped in to my pop genre, and I think that's what's so exciting about this, is because there's so many different things in this album that I feel like people are going to really connect to. So there's no two things that are the same. So I think that's what's so exciting about it. That's my album, and I can't wait, for people to listen to it and, tell me what they think about it,
Absolutely. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, and people are going to enjoy it, people to connect with you.
Thank you.
Okay, Tayla, thanks again for your time, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. You too.
Okay, until next one, let's enjoy a little bit more of this great Christmas song, Grandma's Cookies.
For us all, Santa's coming tonight. Santa's sleigh is so bright, baking cookies with Mama and Poppy. Santa's coming tonight. I'll be up here all night, singing carols and dreaming of what we'll bring. Santa's
Are you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.